Hello, Activation Nation. Welcome to the podcast. I'm so excited to be recording this episode. And this is actually kind of like the next phase of content that we shared at our Global Kickoff. I had the opportunity to talk to Marcell Niederhauser, one of our presidentials, and really hear his story about how he started in this industry, clear through to what he's built this like enormous organization with. So excited for this episode because he's going to talk about the principles and behaviors that he applied from day one, continues to apply to his business to build a thriving organization. So I know you are going to love this episode. All right, Marcell Niederhauser, so good to be here with you.
Kristen, so good to be with you and Activation Nation.
Yes, and we're talking about what I would say is probably one of your favorite topics, and it's the principles and behaviors that you have to really master to build a thriving business. You excited?
I can't wait. And you know, I didn't say this earlier, but I do want to know, I want you to know this, Kristen. Anytime I'm asked to speak or anytime I leave my family to go in public to help somebody with this business, my job is not to sugarcoat or tell them what they want to hear or try to be somebody I'm not. This business isn't about me. I'm not trying to self-promote. I don't care how good my presentation is or not. My job is to tell everybody I'm talking to how they can apply these principles and behaviors in their life and increase their chances of succeeding. So my job is to tell everybody what I did to get to where I'm at because I know. I watch a lot of people get there one way and then they spent the rest of their career telling them to do something else. And nothing drives me more batty than that, because you can't help somebody if you don't know what they're going through. And from my story, you could tell I had to go through a lot.
Yeah, you experienced, there was a lot in there that even I was surprised about, and I've known you a long time, but.
Well, I've always thought too, the more you go through, the more value you are going to be to others.
For sure.
And I'm really valuable.
Yeah,
I went through crap.
Yeah, okay, well, and I love your openness to share about it. But, you know, really, you've got 5 principles and behaviors that you have, I would say, devoted a lot of your career to really mastering. Walk me through the first 5. So number 1.
Okay, so the whole purpose of these is I found a way to teach how to build a network marketing business without giving script or detail or do this or do what I did, because everybody's different.
All
Nobody's
principle based, yeah.
All principle and behavior based.
So what's the first one?
The first one is you got to tell your story, come story, and how you get paid. So you got to do 15 or more presentations a month. And I've always encouraged everybody, you got to tell the whole story, because when the stars line up and you get the opportunity, that person sitting in front of you, give that human enough information to make an intelligent decision and not just give them half.
All right, number 2, second one.
Always do what you say you're going to do.
Number 3.
Stay in control of your business.
Number 4.
Attend all the events.
Just a couple events, or was that all the events?
All the events, and we'll talk about that here in a second.
We'll talk about that. And number 5.
Promote. You got to learn how to promote.
Okay, 5 principles and behaviors. Let's dive into number 1. Number 1, 15 or more presentations a month. What does that look like?
Well, I just went through and told you my story. So when you go through that number, we have found people can find some type of success out of.
15, you mean?
And walk away. Yep, and walk away feeling good. You might get a lot of no's. It could be 14 no's, but if you get that one yes, changes everything. And that's why it's always been that number. I don't know every company I've been in. I learned it in one and I bring it to the rest. But that's the number that helps people find some positive result from doing this.
So tell the whole story 15 times a month. And when you say tell the whole story, you mean your story, the company story,
and how you get paid.
How you get paid. So we heard your story, and you might not be telling that full story to a prospect, but parts of it.
No, but parts and bits and pieces.
So talk to me about the company story. How do you share the company story?
Well, I point out the things that make it different.
Love
We're publicly traded. I love the transparency. Everything has its pros and cons, but I love that. I've been in both situations, and I like being a publicly traded company. I talk about the products in that company. The one I highlight the most in the very beginning is ProTandem, because it has a third-party validation that doesn't exist in any other company or anywhere else in the world. I've never seen that. Well, I've never seen that in my 36 years. And it makes us different. It eliminates a lot of conversations. I don't have, when people are talking to other people, they don't have a ProTandem. So they're not having that, well, my ORAC value is better than yours, or my college, and there's just none of those conversations going on. So I use that to get their interest. Once I get their interest, then I roll out the whole category, especially when it comes time for them to do a subscription order. A lot of our products they're quality, but they're similar to products that they're buying out there already.
It's how are we different?
So when I sit down with people, it don't cost them more money to buy their subscription order. Just change from spending your money over here, buying them here,
Buy
them from your
own store.
business. Yeah,
Love
your
it.
own. And then, so I cover that and just all the things about LifeVantage. I've been in the beginning. When we started we had no peer reviews. We were just hoping and praying when the first one came out, it was going to be positive. And it was. I've never read one, just so you know.
You just know it's there.
I know they're there, so if somebody needs to read them, I know where to point to get the information. That's what I love.
No, and you can trust.
But
Trust us because we're public.
Well,
like we're putting it out there.
Yeah, exactly. That's the transparency.
Yeah.
And it's like, also people say, well, the ABC Primetime's 20 years old. Well, the first time I saw it was 5 years old. So when do you put the date on it where it doesn't have value? It was already 5 years old. People say, well, what's happened next? And that's the peer review studies. That's all of the universities that were inspired by that little movement in time and went and done all the research and published all those and validated everything that they were saying on there. See, those magical things, I've always used that not to convince people to do this, but I've used it to validate what the ABC Primetime did. But that's not all. I've been in the company from the beginning, Kristen, and when that product started shipping, the testimonies that came back and the lives changed.
Incredible.
You can't even put a price tag on it. I always looked at it like this. If they like it and it runs out every 30 days, what's going to happen?
They're going to want to buy it again.
And what does that mean?
It means you're building a solid business.
A check on the 15th of the month. See how this all works? And then how you get paid. I love compensation plans. Evolve. I wished we would have had this in the very beginning.
Yeah.
For how fast we were growing and everything that was going on. But
and the leadership side of it.
Well,
you guys have done such an incredible job of building leaders.
And we've been rewarded. But I love the fact that it supports the behaviors that I teach. It actually rewards you for building your business the way that I like to teach people to do it. That when those two things line up, we're all on the same page, and it's magical. So the evolved compensation, and I'm not going through all these in detail. That's what you're supposed to do. You that are listening, I just want you to know that these principles, behaviors will govern you. They will never let you down if you apply them, and they'll help you become a leader. And they'll help you, like if you struggle with the next one I'm going to talk about, always doing what you say you're going to do. If your word varies a lot, it's going to help you have some integrity.
I love that. So principle 1, just to recap, do the presentation 15 times a month.
Or more.
Or 15 times or more a month.
Can I just say something about that?
Always.
Because when somebody says to me, how am I, they think when they're brand new, I got to do 15 presentations. My names list isn't big enough. I'm out in 3 months. Whatever. They just think.
Yeah.
The 15 or more a month is a behavior or something that you're going to get good at. Just like when you start going to the gym at first. You have to build up
For sure.
to get stronger. It's something you're going to go. But once your names list, you get your 5 that want to do this, then you start helping them, and that's how you get to 15 or more, is you start helping people in your organization. And I help their people and their people and their people. What I learned is once I learned the skill set, if I get with a brand new person 3 or 4 levels below me and I help them go sponsor 5 or 10, 15 people as fast as I possibly can because I've already developed it, I'm teaching them on-the-job training as I'm doing it, but I'm also building my business.
I love that.
Without waiting for somebody else. So
15 times a month or more, your story, company story, how you get paid. Very simple. I love that. Number 2, second principle.
always do what you say you're going to do.
I like that you can just rattle it's like committed to memory. I love it.
Well, you know what's crazy, Kristen? This was a big deal for me in the beginning because I was blown away on how many people's word meant nothing. And I thought at that time, I wasn't very nice. I could not believe it. But then I realized is everybody's different and everybody wants to live their life different. And if what I'm doing is can help everybody, then it can be a home. We need to have a home where everybody can fit in. And we found that. And that's why the principal behaviors are so powerful, is because if I find somebody that's word's not really good, I can work with them long enough to find somebody whose word is good.
Love that.
And then I can keep them in the fold, buying the product and still fulfilling, but I can find what I'm looking for.
So you have a story that you shared with me actually recently about always doing what you say you were going to do. And you talked about going to an event kind of in the middle of nowhere, Utah, that you didn't want to go to.
Well,
that event
let me set that up.
Changed your business. So I want everybody to hear this story because it just highlights that principle better than I think anything.
Okay, so you remember my story where I said I was at the convention center, about walked out.
Yeah.
And I made a decision there that I was going to build it. And no matter what people didn't do, I wasn't going to let their lack of doing something control whether I found success or not. And so at that time, my sister-in-law was involved, and I made that decision. So I started going down and working with her. She lives down in Richfield, Utah. And her name's Lisa.
Oh.
We went to work and we sponsored the first meeting we did. We go to this guy's house and his name's Bill. Sign Bill up. After that was just like clockwork, just simple. But after that, Bill canceled on me for 6 months, about once or twice a week. I would have a meeting set up. Now I kept going because I'd still go down and help Lisa. So it wasn't like I wasted anything, but Bill plays an important role even though he was canceled on me. And in the meantime, we sponsored her brother up here in Riverton.
Okay.
I started working there and it started growing. Well, 5 months into it, Lisa calls me up and says, Bill and Amy quit. And I came unglued on her. Not on her, but that's where I meant it. What do you mean they quit? They have never even done anything.
And Bill and Amy are family?
They're husband and wife.
Okay, well that probably wasn't awkward.
Well, they don't know. So she just told me that they quit.
Okay.
And so I didn't call them up right after we hung up and start yelling at them or what's going on. I just put it into memory, and a couple weeks later, I happened to be going to Arizona to go down and see one of my buddies named Eric. And on the way down, I had a couple buddies. So I thought, I'm going to drop in on Bill and Amy. So I called him, make sure he's home. And I said, hey, Bill, me and so-and-so, I want to introduce you to some people that are in your upline. Can we stop by for a few minutes, see how you guys are doing? Oh, absolutely. Where are you at? I'm in your driveway. There's no way I was going to give him a heads up and let him cancel on me again. So we showed up and we got him fired up again. All riled up, he's going to do another meeting. And we're going to do it at the pizza place. Now he's going to finally go talk to everybody. 2 weeks later, when we got back from Arizona, I get a call the night before. It's not at the pizza place, it's at my house and I'll buy the pizza. Registered. He didn't do anything. Nothing's going to happen. And I'm going to drive down there, and I got the president of the CEO of the other company going with me. So got late that night. I'm getting ready to go. It's last minute. I got to pick all these people up. It's cold. It's winter time. 3.5 hours. I decided I'm not going. Turned my car off, went back inside, and Lisa met me at the door. Yeah, you're going. Because she knows. What I'm about to tell you has happened 1,000 times in my business. When I didn't want to do something, that's when I know I need to go. And she said to me, you know you need to go. Boy, did I not know. What? Yeah, I knew.
Lisa set you straight.
Yeah. So I went. We went down there and we do this meeting. 2 people showed up. The lady across the street and one of Bill's friends. And during the meeting, the CEO of the company was doing it. I was just sitting there. I only had 2 people to watch. One fell asleep. That was the lady across the street.
Okay, well, so half your audience.
Yep. And so I just focused on this other guy. And the meeting gets over. She wakes up, signs up.
Oh.
And the other guy sneaks out the back door.
The lady who's asleep signed up.
Yep, she woke up and signed up. And then the guy, the other dude that was there, sneaks out the back door. And I remember I followed him out and I grabbed him on the back of the collar and I said, Tyler, where are you going? Oh, my wife wants me to come home. I said, no. Now remember, Bill for
And this is the first time you met Tyler?
First time I met Tyler. I didn't know even who Tyler was at that time. And Bill had bailed out on me for 5 months straight. There was no way Tyler was getting away without a conversation. He came back in, chatted with the CEO. They had a lot in common. They like Harleys. I wasn't a Harley guy back then. And anyway, there was a connection made. Tyler signed up. We were coming back in 2 weeks. CEO told him, look, if you sign up right now, we're going to come back in 2 weeks and help you. And if we don't, we'll give your money back. So he did it, and he wasn't supposed to. He got in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, that's another story, right?
2 weeks come by, Tyler doesn't even show up.
Tyler.
No, doesn't even show up. And Bill calls him up and says, hey, you're wasting these guys' time. And Tyler goes, what guys? He'd forgot.
He forgot?
He'd forgot.
Oh my gosh.
And he was driving around with his mentor at the time. And his mentor heard the conversation, said, are you supposed to be somewhere? Remember, always do what you say you're going to do? And he goes, yeah, well, if you said you're going to go, you're going to go. And then they come, the last 5 minutes, the guy signs up.
His mentor?
Yeah,
Oh,
Tyler's
geez.
trying to talk him out of it.
Oh,
I'm watching this whole thing transpire, and then they leave, don't know anything else, but those two go have a conversation, and I don't know all of the details. He told him a story about another company that was just starting and how it changed somebody's life. And he told him that real estate it's going to have its ups and downs, and you need a backup plan. And whatever that conversation was, triggered and it exploded one of the most amazing network marketers that have ever been found.
So there's probably some people listening who don't know that Tyler is now your business partner.
Well, yeah. So
tell us.
Let me tell you how that transpired. So
Close
Tyler
that
and I.
off.
So luckily he was there with that guy, and that guy made him come because that's changed Tyler's life. Well, we got together. Tyler was in my organization at the time. I made that commitment at the function, and 6 months later I find Tyler, and building depth, going down and just doing what I said I was going to do, even though I didn't want to. And we start working, and he gets in, and so he done nothing, doesn't show up. 2 weeks later, sponsors 13 people. He catches the attention of a couple other guys I'm working with and me, and we start talking. Over a period of 6-7 months, we start working together. We were in a binary scenario, so we were able to get a position above our positions, and we partnered up in there, and that's where the partnership started. And we worked over there. We built that to one of the top positions in their company. And then there's a whole nother story there that I won't.
But what people should know is Tyler and Marcell, not only have they built to presidential, but there are multiple presidentials in your organization.
Yeah, the one thing we got really good at is building, developing, and inspiring, and creating leadership. Those are one of our specialties. And so those are kind of the things you need to actually build a business that works whether you're there or not. And so, yeah, just so you know, Tyler and I don't have to sign people up every single month to qualify to get our check. We qualify in the first subscription order because we built a leadership-based business.
I love that. And to bring us back, it's because you did let's give some credit to Lisa. She made you do what you said you were going to do because she knew that was important.
Yeah, I would have went, what I try to do, Kristen,
so
is
important.
Tell my stories exactly the way they happened, because that's how I remember them.
I love that. Always do what you say you're going to do. Okay, number 3.
Well, so Tyler and I position in the company 0001 and 0002.
Not a bad position to be in. No,
and
I love
we've
that.
done billions of dollars worth of selling this company while we've been here, and we love it. We love the partnership and the relationship. And so, okay, number 3, stay in control of your business.
What does that mean?
What I just told you. I didn't want to go down and see Tyler, but I did it anyway.
You couldn't control Bill.
Nope, couldn't control Bill. Found Tyler. Tyler was a 2 or 3 week project, and then he finally came.
He will love being called that.
Well, whatever. He didn't just jump in. I want people to know.
grabbed him by the shirt.
I want people to know that it takes time to become Tyler Daniels. It takes time to become Marcell Niederhauser. It's like, you're right. People that see us today have no idea what we went through. They never see us doing 3 and 4 hour PowerPoint presentations, shining it on the wall because the people wouldn't let us take the pictures down, and everybody's laying down watching it. And anyway, I could tell you stories. Actually.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, never heard that one before. But the point is,
staying in control. So
you couldn't control Bill, so then you found Tyler.
I'm helping Lisa. We find Bill. Bill's not being cooperative, but I didn't just blow Bill off. I showed up again and again, and then I found Tyler. Me and Tyler started working together, and then we started traveling together, so I'm helping him sponsor people. We're getting his people sponsored, then we're going out and helping their people, and that's where we found Blue Elam. Blue Elam came from people that Tyler knew, that somebody knew who knew somebody that knew Blue. And I remember I get a phone call. You know, we don't quite know Blue yet. He calls me up and says, hey, Marcell, I just sponsored 30 people. They're coming over to the house. What do I do? Tyler, Blue just sponsored 30 people. They're coming over to Blue's house. So Blue, we'll be there. We're on our way. We got to go to San Diego first, and we'll be down there.
Wow.
We'll help you. That's how I met Blue.
That's incredible. Stay in control of your business means just always find that next person to talk to work with, to run with.
So if you're focused on doing I want to put this in perspective, how the principal behaviors actually work. If you're doing your 15 or more a month, you're constantly working in your organization with people. I got to phrase it one more time. Helping them. So the brand new person gets in. I always work at the bottom of my leg. So the brand new person that gets in is the one that's not getting a check yet. And I figure if I can help him create volume, then everybody behind me can see me doing that because I just did it with them too.
Love
and
that.
they can do that in their other legs.
So
Tyler and I only build one leg for our personals. We don't go out and build 5 legs. We build one. And we teach them how we do that as we're driving the depth down, and then they go do that in the other legs. Now, we'll do calls and stuff like that, but we won't physically work because you can't. Can you imagine having 5 growing legs and you only have to work in 5 places?
I struggle with
Once a
3
month?
children. No, I cannot physically imagine that.
But some people, they like to just, never mind. Okay.
Well, so stay in control of your business. Love that. Number 4, attend the fun events.
Okay.
Or wait, not the fun ones.
All the events.
See?
Yeah, you're so funny.
I was just going to say.
But it's like I told you a couple stories in my story about how the event changed my life. One of the things I found is when I went to my first one, I all of a sudden became committed.
Yeah.
And it took me a while to figure this out. And then I went to my next one, and then I'd get people in and they wouldn't do anything, and then, they weren't as excited as me, and I started really, well, if I get them to the event, let's see what happens. So I got them to the event, and all of a sudden they're excited like me. And I realized along the way that I can't make everybody excited, right? But if I can get them plugged in, now granted, there are people that will go to an event and that doesn't do anything for them. Well, that tells you that that's probably somebody that you're not going to be working with. Get to their names list as fast as you can. Because I don't know how somebody can go to one of those and not get lit up.
Yeah.
And so anyway.
I also, one of the things you say that has always struck me as just really, really smart is, you're not going to relate to everybody.
No.
But when you take somebody to an event, we have so many different speakers on a stage, people who are sharing their perspective. It's like, you're going to find somebody that they relate to. Like, you've never been controlling in the fact, like, you have to relate to me or I'm not going to work with you. It's like, no, like, come here and feel this environment.
Well, what you just said is absolutely 100% right. Let me just change the way to view that.
Okay, so it's almost right.
No, 100%.
Okay.
What you said was right, but this is how I want people to look at it, is you cannot miss an event in case that one person that you're talking about that's going to speak, that's going to say something that you need to hear, if you're not at that event and they're not speaking after that for another year, then it takes you a whole nother year to get that information to make that decision. So you're absolutely right on that. And then
attend all events. I love, and that's company events, that's team events. That's
team events,
everything.
Distributor events. One thing I learned in that very beginning business, in order to keep all your different, how do I want to word this? So everybody's different, everybody's committed at different levels, and everybody engages at different levels. But to keep those that are engaged, because it's hard getting rejection. That's the number one thing people struggles with. But if we have a monthly event that those people that are building and going through all that stuff can go to and get that reassurance. So I've figured out you touch them monthly, you touch them quarterly, and then you do, whether it's a distributor event or a corporate event, you're getting together quarterly. But the monthly one, that's the big one. That's where you lose a lot of people. 90 days is a long time for somebody to go through the
be alone.
Go through the trauma you go through when you're getting rejected by people you thought that were whatever. I'm getting you a vague answer. I'm just barely covering the surface. But that's what's important about getting them to the events, because you just don't know.
Well, it's feeling the community. It's being around people who've experienced it.
I was talking to Kristen, and she's committed to get something where we're going to have it daily.
Okay.
I think we need something daily where people are learning principles of building their business and behaviors. There's a lot of leaders out there. We need to hear from them based on what we just said about relating to everybody. But we need that. We need that daily.
That is a great plug for this podcast. So many stories that we could. So on behalf of the training team, thank you for that plug for Activation Nation. Love it.
You're the best. And then the other thing about the events, this just hit my mind. So remember John Maxwell?
Yes.
Well, back in my first days, I read a book called Developing the Leader Within, and in the first chapter, the very first one, not his second one, I was reading the different levels of leadership, and Kristen, I thought if I could just get to number 2,
You've made
I'd
it.
be I've arrived. Because I mean, when you don't know anything about leadership and you don't believe in yourself, it's amazing. And then he showed up in LifeVantage a couple CEOs ago, and I read his book again. I went and found my book. And this is years and years later, and I'd found that I'd got to the top level of leadership. And I highlighted it before, things that I read that made sense, and then I highlighted it again, and I almost highlighted the whole chapter.
Wow.
So the reason why I'm saying that is because as I've developed, as you become to the top of the leadership, I mean, it never ends, but there's mastery. And when you're mentoring and inspiring people, you've got there. And so now that I'm in that position, and I inspire and mentor a lot of people and have influence in their lives. And from doing that, I'm trying to guide them. And one of the questions I always get is, so-and-so, if I could just get so-and-so to do this, I can't, my wife won't do this, or whatever. Everybody's trying to change somebody.
That one person.
And they want me to change them. And I'm like, I can't even change Lisa. I have a hard time changing myself. But I'm like,
so true.
Get them
so
to the
true.
event. That fixes them.
Yeah.
See, people don't understand how powerful these 5 steps are, and it actually helps people become independent of you
I love that.
as a leader. They will grow into where they will own these principles and behaviors themselves. Matter of fact, most of the leadership that I've worked with that struggled in the beginning, now they don't even remember I taught these to them. They think they came up with them. And I let them think that. I don't care. I want people, if I decide to go on vacation, I want my check to grow.
Great,
right?
yeah.
And so that's what these things do. They help develop leadership. But here's the kicker. I haven't really expressed this. You have to get good at doing them first when you're promoting, which we're going to talk about in a minute.
Yeah, perfect.
When you're promoting these things, you've done it. And it's easy for people to follow. If you've done it first, you teach them by example, and they're going to know. And then also when they ask you questions, because you've taken these into such strong consideration and made them part of your life, you now have an answer for everything they're going through. So let me give you an example. If you're building the business this way and you're doing your 15 a month, you're going to all the events and you're plugged in and you're doing your story, the company story, and how you get paid, when you get to it somewhere where you're struggling, I've already been through it.
You know exactly how to help them.
Yeah, and I know the situation, no matter what's being said or how the people are acting. But if you're doing this on social media, I've never done it on social media. I can't tell you how to do it. I have no idea. I am the wrong person to talk to. Remember earlier when I said people built this way and now they're doing it another way?
Yeah.
They don't understand how they just shoot themselves in the foot because everybody in their group knows the way they did it. And then so this is what I want you to get from what I just said. I know this works. I know it inside and out, and I can guide you properly. I'm not guessing. I know for a fact when it comes to these. It's not guesswork. I'm not experimenting. You've heard me say that. Well, you guys go ahead and experiment, Steve, Kristen, for a while. And then
He means that with love.
Yeah, total love. But I've said that to a lot of people. Go ahead and experiment. And then when you get done, if you don't quit, come back and let's do it the right way. This is the shortcut, by the way.
Yeah.
Because this develops you. Well, you're already amazing, so I don't know what else we could do for you. But anyway.
No, it's simple principles that just are time tested.
So there's millions of promoting that you're going to do. Millions of ways you're going to promote.
So this is number 5.
Yep, this is the last one.
Promote and repeat until it's done.
And until it's done. 2 to 5 years or 14 years in my case.
To build to presidential. Love that.
Yep. Well, just to get free. It took me a lot longer to get to presidential.
Yeah, for sure.
But so you promote. I've been doing it the whole time. I promote the functions. I'm always promoting. But so I want to give you one example of why this is so important to me about promoting. Is you're going to have people in your life that this is their last straw or this is their last thing that can help them or whatever. Or they're on the verge of quitting or they're brand new and they need to be inspired or whatever. They need to see the bigger picture. When I'm sitting down with people, my whole job is not to change them or get them to do anything they don't want to, other than I need to get them to the event. I got to get them to one. That's kind of the litmus test after that. And so when I'm sitting with them, this is how I promote to them. Let's just say I got done doing the presentation. We just signed them up, and they just gave me $1,000. The event's going to cost money too, and they're going to have to spend it.
Yeah.
And a lot of people worry about other people's finances for them when they don't. You shouldn't do that. Shame on you if you do. Quit making decisions for people. Let them make their own decisions. I got to throw that in there.
It was a good moment.
So I look at them. I get done. I show them all this. I said, if I know something that will help you. So Kristen, you just signed up. If I knew something that would really help you right now, would you want me to tell you?
Absolutely.
No, really. Would you want me to tell you?
Of course I would. I just spent all that money. I want to know.
Okay. Well, if I tell you, will you do it?
Yeah.
Okay. You need to go to the events in Dallas. It's going to cost you another $1,000.
The next one's in Vegas for the U.S.
But I'm using an example. So Vegas in the U.S.
So go to Vegas.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is let's say I'm in Alaska and they got to go to Dallas. So the point in that is when I first sit down with you and we get done, you know that you're going to be doing 15 presentations or more a month.
Yeah, you set the stage.
You know you're going to the next event, whatever it is. I'm promoting that. Before I leave, you know, and here's the last thing. And you know what, Kristen? If you'll do this, I don't care how long it takes you. I will hold your hand all along the way till you can stand on your own 2 feet, and I'll never leave. And now, we just met, so you don't know me. But ask Chris and Sarah Smith. Ask Dan. Ask all these people I'm with. Ask Robin Summer. I said that same thing to them. If you'll do your part, I'll do mine, and we will get to know each other. We're friends today. I just met a whole bunch of new people back in New York not too long ago for the first time. A couple years from now, they're going to be EC1s in that room, and we're going to be having this conversation. I'm going to be beating their brand. I've been doing this for 36 years. I didn't know Tyler before I met him. I didn't know you before I met you.
That is true.
So that's you guys. You just have no idea. Now here's another thing I want to leave you with, and that is, do you think for one moment back in whatever that was, when I was 26 years old, I just got done showing the circles, I just threatened the guy's life, that I thought that I'm going to be sitting in Salt Lake doing a podcast with Kristen at LifeVantage at this day and age? You like I said this the other night when I was sitting in New York with a bunch of people. I was just up in Liberty and met a whole bunch of brand new people for Chris and Sarah. Do you think I knew that I was going to be meeting them? I just had lunch with one of the people there because they reached out. And what it is I don't go up and say, hey, what can I do for you? If somebody reaches out,
you're there.
I pay attention. Yeah. That's how I find what I'm looking for. Does that make sense?
For sure.
And this lady, she's at Chris and Sarah's. The first thing she says to me, were you in Amway? Yeah. I recognize you from all those years ago.
That's crazy. Full circle.
And we were in the same kind of line of sponsorship. And we knew each other. So anyway, I have so much information. We could get talking. I could go off on another tangent. But
we got lots of podcasts we can do. But Marcell, what I love the most about this is how simple it is. I don't want to say it's easy, but I think...
Well, this is easy.
Okay.
The change that each one of you will go through is the hard part. See, the person that's going to give you, the person to blame if you don't build your business is the one that stares at you when you're by yourself looking in the mirror.
Yeah.
It's not your upline, it's not your wife, it's not your boss, it's not anybody, it's you. You are the one to blame if this doesn't work. So no, these are not easy. I mean, these are the easiest things you'll ever do. How hard is it to do what you say you're going to do? That's not hard. How hard is it to show information? If you love I got to say this. If you've seen the ABC primetime, you have a moral obligation to tell every single person that hasn't seen it about it because they have oxidative stress. That's just one.
True.
If they have wrinkles, no, I'm just kidding. Then collagen, yeah. Or
we have solutions.
We do have solutions.
Oh man, love it. Marcell, let's repeat them again. 5 principles and behaviors. Number 1.
Always do 15 more presentations a month.
Yeah, let's start off.
Tell your story, compass story, and how you get paid. The whole story.
The whole story. Number 2.
Always do what you say you're going to do.
Number 3.
Attend all the events. Stay in control of your business. Stay in control of your business.
Number
attend
4,
all the events.
And finally,
promote.
And
you do these until it's done.
This
is a 2 to 5 year. I didn't say 2 to 5 hours. I didn't say try it for 2 to 5 weeks. I didn't say talk to 2 to 5 people. I said, you make the commitment for the next 2 to 5 years, you put your head down, and that's what I did when I left that convention that I just talked about where me and Lisa almost walked out, is I made the commitment, I put my head down, and I didn't look up until it was done. And once that decision's made, your whole life will be different, and the choices that you get to make, you'll pinch yourself. And Kristen, I'm at the level where I don't really need to be doing this.
I know.
And
so
I'm one of not very many that are
Yeah.
still engaged, because one of the things that I've always believed, when you're given much is expected.
Yeah, no,
And
it's
my
true.
goal is to help anybody that wants to build this business, or just anybody, help them get whatever they want. If they
Yeah.
can get my lifestyle, I want that for them. And the people that I work with know that about me.
I love that. Marcell, this content is truly amazing. Thank you, for number one, sharing your story on that virtual event, but number two, giving us the detail on these principles and behaviors. I know this is going to be an episode that gets a lot of traction. So appreciate your time, and can't wait till the next time you're back on this Activation Nation podcast.
Well, Activation Nation, I love you, and just want what you want. But if it's what we have, I want you to have
Let's
that.
go.
Yep.
Okay.
So thank you so much, Kristen.
Thanks, Marcell. Bye, everyone.
Thanks for listening to today's episode of the Activation Nation podcast. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe for future episodes and updates, and share with a friend or prospect that you think could benefit from today's conversation. Check the episode description for any links or disclaimers, and we'll see you next week for another episode. And now, the legal stuff. The sales earnings disclosed are potential gross earnings and do not account for expenses incurred in building a business. The average 12-month earnings of a typical U.S. consultant who earned in 2024 are $683. LifeVantage does not guarantee any income or rank success. A consultant's earnings will depend on individual diligence, work effort, and market conditions. Visit the LifeVantage Income Disclosure Statement for more information.